Hey guys, how we doing today? Welcome to Traveling on the Go. In this episode here, I'm going to take you to Cumberland Island. Loads of history here. This is Georgia's biggest barrier island. Not only that, there's around 200 wild horses on this island. The island itself is 57 square miles big, and it has over 50 miles of hiking trails all over the island. Quite a few stories, kind of the haunting type of ghost stories, and people missing, people passing away mysteriously. So I'll get into that a little bit later, but there is definitely some mystery to this place. And here's what's coming up later also, including the ruins of the Carnegie Dungeness mansion, home to one of the richest people in the world. I don't know what is going on. Wow, let's get this tour going. Traveling on the Go starts right now. So you might be asking, how do I get there and what are my options? This national park island is located on the east coast of Georgia, just an hour and 10-minute drive from Savannah. Cumberland Island is only accessible by boat and is located just 7 miles east of St. Mary's. The short 45-minute ferry ride makes for a scenic and pleasant form of transportation to the island. Now, the price isn't actually cheap, as you'll pay $40 round trip for the boat, but this does allow for camping, touring, and bike riding on the island. Tip here, bring your own bike, which costs around $10 to transport it on the boat. During the 16th and 17th centuries, Cumberland Island was part of the Mocama missionary province of Spanish Florida. Now in 1736, James Oglethorpe first built a hunting lodge named Dungeness on the island. He was a British soldier, member of Parliament, and the founder of the colony of Georgia. Moving on 50 years later, Nathaniel Greene, an American Revolutionary general who led a brilliant campaign that ended the British occupation of the South, was one of the next to try and build there. He was in the planning stage of building his home on Cumberland Island on top of a Native American shell mound when he died in 1786 at the age of 43 of sunstroke. The house was to be named Dungeness. His widow later completed the huge 4-story tabby mansion. She had married her child's tutor, Philonis Miller. Miller died a few years after moving to Cumberland Island. The house named Dungeness mysteriously burned to the ground in 1866. Next of the strange deaths involved General William George Mackay Davis, a Confederate general and cousin of Jefferson Davis. He was planning on building a resort on Cumberland Island. His son Bernard moved there to help him. While out hunting one day, Bernard accidentally shot and killed his 5-year-old son. Bernard committed suicide a few months later. Devastated, General Davis sold the property to Thomas Carnegie. Thomas Carnegie, whose brother Andrew Carnegie was one of the richest people in the world at the time, led the expansion of the American steel industry in the late 19th century. Thomas Carnegie later chose to build his mansion on the same site as the ruins of the original Dungeness, but died at the age of 43 in 1886, the same age as Nathaniel Greene. His wife Lucy continued to live in the rebuilt Dungeness until her death. Later, this Dungeness mansion also burned to the ground in 1959. Let's change it up on Cumberland Island and talk about hiking, wild horses, boardwalks, and nature. Let's go. Cumberland Island's known for so many things here, but one thing in particular are wild horses. There are only a few places in the United States that you can actually see wild horses, and this is one of those places. You can see the wild horses behind me here. When we showed up here, we thought there's no way we're going to get close to any wild horses, but on the contrary, they are everywhere. They're in kind of small little groups running around. We even saw a little baby that they were kind of protecting, and they seem very good around people. But at the same time, maybe they're not. I don't know what is going on.
Oh, there's like a little
Wow, let's go over here and take a look, guys. I see. Oh, wow. In the back of here is the iconic mansion from the Carnegie family. This guy was just kind of sleeping, hanging out. There's another grouping over here I'm going to show you about, and they're just relaxing, taking it easy. Obviously, don't get too close to them. I'm not that crazy. There's a group here that are wild, and another group way over there. I'll flip you around here so you can see. And they're just kind of chilling out here. When we came up on the boat, you could see them kind of just eating on the shore and kind of hanging out. And so really amazing there. This whole island right here, basically half of it is restricted for airspace. There's an airport nearby. So I can't put my drone up all over the place, just selected areas. But look at that, look at these guys. It did look as though the baby horse here that was protected by the older ones was sick, or there was a problem, but we weren't sure about that. Funny enough, right behind me, check out the horse. It's acting just like a dog I once knew. An interesting side note, to protect themselves, horses instead doze while standing. They're able to do this through the stay apparatus, a special system of tendons and ligaments that enables a horse to lock the major joints in their legs. The majority of day visitors to the island spend their time hiking around and exploring the South End Loop. This 4.3 mile loop is the most popular route taken by day visitors to Cumberland Island. It showcases a variety of what the island has to offer, including the Dungeness roadways, a self-guided walk through the Dungeness Historic District, the River Trail, a short walk along the water's edge between Dungeness Dock and the Sea Camp, and the Nightingale Trail, offering a view from within the maritime forest. Cumberland Island has more than 50 miles of hiking trails and roads meandering through maritime forests, interior wetlands, historic districts, marsh ecosystems, and beautiful beaches. The trails, beaches, and roadways are all available for hiking. So on this island with the Carnegie family, they actually had an airstrip, and I'm not sure where it's at exactly, but apparently you can still land single engine planes on this landing strip. That's what I was told. So this island here had a lot of different people that owned it at one time. There were plantations, there were slaves, and in 1846, the official numbers here were around 400 slaves and 36 whites living on this island. Cumberland Island is a barrier island. Barrier islands are found on coastlines all over the world, but are most noticeable along the eastern coast of North America, where they extend from New England down to the Atlantic coast, around the Gulf of Mexico and south of Mexico. If you're curious about Cumberland Island and need more information, I'll put the website below. There are some other notable historical attractions, like the first Baptist African American church where JFK Jr. got married, and Robert Stafford's plantation as it existed between 1815 and 1870, where up to 400 slaves were forced to work. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I have some new videos coming up, including Iceland, Norway, Mexico City, and a lot more. So I'll see you next time. Take care, guys.
I don't wanna
a savior, don't wanna be strangers. Let me feel like you know what to do. Leave your limitations, live and go against them. Just let go and start up something new. Cause I know that what you planned out, everything that you built up, isn't what you want. And I know the life you're living isn't that fulfilling. Let me help you out. Lay your love on me. Leave your head and let your mind be free. Save yourself and leave.